All right, welcome into another episode of the 2022 MLB Draft Show. Tonight we got a flamethrower. We got the pride of the SEC, Tennessee's own, Loretto, Tennessee's own, Blade Tidwell. Blade, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
Nothing much. Just got back yesterday. Uh, just worked out this morning. Nothing much going on. I was going to go hunting, but it started pouring.
Are you getting into the kind of the slower down period, taking some stress off the arm?
Actually, I'm about to start ramping it up this next week.
Wow, what are your goals for the winter then? I mean, we'll get into that. But let's start with something else. Let's start with a little bit more surface level, Blade. I like to kind of take the first couple minutes of the show to allow you to introduce yourself to the viewers, to the listeners. Who is Blade Tidwell on the mound? What kind of presence do you bring to the bump? And then what sort of things do you like to do off the baseball field?
Um, First off, I would come from a small town, and I've always never half done anything, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm always full throttle on and off the field. So on the field, I would definitely say I have a fierce mentality, but I would say that about myself in the weight room and other aspects of life. I like to hunt and fish. I'm pretty simple country boy.
Love it, man. Love it. Let's talk about 2021 because you kind of burst onto the scene. The velo blew up. I mean, you started really throwing BBs. Breaking balls come a long ways, working in that changeup. What sort of steps were you most proud of this last year with kind of your development?
Just the experience from the spring, and then over the summer, I worked on my metrics and stuff, and my swing and miss and things like that have progressed tremendously in the fall. The results have been a lot better, and made myself more dominant, I feel like. So really, that's what I got from it.
When you bring up metrics, one thing I wanted to point out, you sit 95, 96, 99 at your best. How much of an emphasis for you is fastball shape? Do you get on the Rapsodo and figure out how to get more lift on the ball, or are you just kind of letting it fly? What's your pitch design thought process?
So in the spring and during the season, I was just letting it fly, and I never knew anything about that. But like as I went and played for USA, I realized I wasn't getting the swing and miss I wanted. So I got on the Rapsodo and TrackMan and things like that, and really worked on getting my fastball to ride more, throwing it up in the zone and getting more swing and miss.
How do you think you accomplished that riding action? Was it just a simple pronation type of thing, or how are you getting more hop?
I just spin the ball off my fingers when I'm just sitting doing nothing, just practicing, just like really releasing at the same time. And I've been throwing clean fuego balls, like the hockey shaped balls,
Mm-hmm.
the same weight as a baseball, 3 days a week, and really just emphasizing trying to backspin it.
We're pretty big on the data at Prospects Live. We love digging into the weeds, if you will. What sort of numbers were you seeing when you got to USA Baseball this summer? And then by the time you were done, what sort of improvement were you seeing? Well, I mean, were you at 15 and then you were at 18 by the end of the summer, or kind of what sort of improvement did you see?
So I threw one on Rapsodo before I went, and I had to Google all this in my room and stuff because I had no idea about it and no one ever taught me about it. So what I know is just based off my own research. But
Mhm.
so I threw one on Rapsodo before I went, and my vertical break was 13, 15 inches in my bullpen.
Mhm.
And then by the time my last outing hit at USA, I got a text from Gilbert. Like right when I got on my phone, the first thing I saw was a text, and it said your vertical break was 17 to 21 inches.
21, that's elite stuff, man. And at 98 miles an hour, that's unhittable.
It was actually super hard to control there. Took some getting used to. It made
Did
me.
you feel it? Did you feel it flying out of your hand, just like sailing high and arm side, or
It
was
was
that your struggle?
Yes, it was selling high on arm side, and it was pretty hard to control there at first.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got a whole winter and a spring to kind of get that under control, so it should be a pretty explosive spring for you. Talk about your breaking ball, man. What's your thought process with your breaking ball? How do you like to deploy it? Um, let me hear it.
Really, I throw my slider primarily, and been working on getting my changeup, throwing it almost as much as my slider, but not quite. And I feel pretty comfortable throwing slider and changeup to both right and left-handed hitters. But sliders 85 to 88 right now. It's got the shape I want. Changeups around the same speed. It's not a traditional circle change grip. It's more like split like this. It's real weird. It's my own little grip that I've had my whole life. Just the more I've thrown it, the better feel I have for it. And throw a curveball, and it was used just as a get me over pitch to lefties last year. But I'm really working to be able to throw it to right and left-handed hitters and throw it in any count just to change hitters' eye level.
It sounds like moving into the winter, I mean, you said you're about to ramp back up. It sounds like every single pitch has a little bit of a checkpoint that you're looking to work on this winter. Is there anything specifically that is a huge point of emphasis over the next 4 months?
Really just maintaining and commanding the zone, getting ahead with whatever pitch I decide to throw first to the hitter. That's really important. And if I do that, then I feel like I'll be successful throwing any pitch.
Nice. I want to kind of revert back a little bit before we move on in terms of tech. You'd mentioned that nobody had really brought it up to you before last year, wasn't really an emphasis for you. Is that something that you'd like to see yourself work into your training habits and your development? Is it something that you've enjoyed learning over the last couple of weeks and months?
Yes, sir. I've been looking at it more and more. I don't really like to look at things like that or think about them the day I pitch or anything like
Yeah.
that. I was always taught from an early age just to go out there and like compete and don't worry about any of that. Just try to get the hitter out. And it's just a one-on-one battle, me versus the hitter when I'm out there on the mound.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's talk about Tennessee. You guys are loaded. Again, you had a big year last year. You're loaded again for 2022. Give me some of the highlights of the 2022 Tennessee Volunteer baseball roster and some of the things you're excited about, man.
I think we got some fast players this year. I think we're going to be faster than last year on the base paths. I also think that our bullpen's gotten way better, and I think that our starting pitching has an upside. I just think we have a lot of talent this year. I think we might have more talent this year than last year. We'll have to see if the team chemistry and all that pans out the same as last year. I mean, each team has their own personality. We just need to find ours, and I think we'll be good.
Love it. All right, so between you and Ben Joyce, Seth Halverson, who's going to put the bigger dent in a car door?
Me.
You? Is there any reason why?
No, I'll just throw it until I get the biggest one, I guess.
There you go, the ultimate competitor, man. What sort of personal goals do you have for yourself this year in terms of personal achievements, numbers, anything like that kind of strike your fancy, or are you more of a team guy?
I have some personal goals that are just average goals, but I really want to get to Omaha and win. It's pretty embarrassing last year getting there and crap in the bed.
Yeah. No, I mean, it happens. You guys came up against a buzzsaw too, so certainly no harm, no foul there. A little bit going back to a little bit on USA Baseball. What sort of things did you take away from that experience? Because it's not something that the guys from 2020 were able to experience.
It was really cool. We were traveling through the mountains and stuff, East Tennessee, Virginia, all around the East Coast. And it was super cool meeting everybody. I mean, it was different than I thought it'd be. The people on the team, everybody was cool. And you would think with it being the best players that there would be some guys that you would just, be like that. But it wasn't like that at all. Everybody I met was really cool, and we all made friends real easy.
Is there a guy or two that you forged a friendship with maybe quicker or, more than most?
I would say really just my whole team. I didn't connect as much with the other team because we were separated for most of the time, but really just everybody on my team. I mean, me, Gavin Cross, Landon Sims, and some other players went out on the lake one day when we had an off day, and it was fun. Gavin's buddy. And Gavin actually came to Tennessee this fall with the same guy that picked us up, and he called me, and we went and hung out.
You and Gavin are tight. I like that, man. You guys are both going to be, hopefully, you guys are both going to be pretty early draft picks. All right, so looking forward to 2022. The SEC, I mean, it's a gauntlet. There's always going to be a ton of chainsaws, if you will, coming through Knoxville on a weekly basis. Is there a hitter, maybe besides Gavin, that you saw last year that really stands out as a really special bat?
I would say Dylan Cruz. He has very advanced approach, and he gets the barrel to pretty much every pitch. And if you make a mistake, he's going to make you pay. He gets his bat head out really good to outside pitches.
What about on the other side? What about another pitcher that you're kind of fond of?
I think Barco was really good at USA in one of his outings. Whenever he's on, he's electric. I think he struck out 8 of 9. The only person to put it in play was actually Gilbert, and it was a bunt. So
Drew Gilbert.
he didn't. He didn't want to do the ninth count in a row.
The ultimate competitor, Drew Gilbert, lays down a bunt. That's kind of funny, man. Would you say Drew is the most fiery athlete that you've played with over the last couple of years?
I would say, yeah. As far as like openly expressing emotion, yes, Drew is the most fiery.
All right, man. Well, let's jump into the last 3 questions here. We like to keep it a little bit loose, kind of let you rag on your teammates, rag on Team USA if you want. Like I said, we had Jordan Beck on last week, so it's a good chance for you to get redemption. First question would be, out of all the guys on the Tennessee roster, I'll also open it up to Team USA. Who has the worst sense of style?
I would have to agree with Beck that Kavaris has a pretty bad sense of style.
Jeez, man, you guys are just burying this kid. He's a true freshman.
It's
What
pretty bad.
What about the other side of things, man? Who's got some drip?
I would say Beck has some pretty good drip. I would say my roommate Hunter Inslee, he dresses nice. Vic dresses nice.
All right, I'm going to give you an opportunity to take some heat off Kavaris. Who's got the worst taste in music?
I mean, I couldn't tell you. We don't really listen to anything that I listen to in the locker room, so I don't know. I guess whoever's on aux.
What do you listen to?
I listen to stuff like kind of like indie rock and old school country.
I like it, man. We need more of that. We need more of that out there. All right, last question for you, and then I'll let you go. Kind of our staple. Maybe you saw it with Beck, so you might have something prepared. What's the most random fact you know about anything on Earth that not a lot of people know?
My hometown has 2 red lights, and they're both not needed at all.
They just is your hometown just one street?
Pretty much.
How many people are from Loretto, Tennessee?
I think around 3,800.
Oh, okay, so it's not that small, but everyone's kind of packed down one drag, huh?
It's like a highway runs through, and I mean, there's some roads that veer off, but pretty much those red lights are just not needed. Stop sign.
Small town USA. Blade, thank you so much for joining the show, man. We really appreciate it. From me and everyone over at Prospects Live, we're rooting for you. I'm rooting for you to put the biggest hole in a dent in the side of a car this year. We're going to have to get some sort of competition going. Maybe get Landon Sims in and on it too.
That'd be good.
All right, man. Take it easy. Good luck this year, and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you having me on.